So I've been wanting to make a Christmas movie review for quite some time, this one especially, but obviously I cannot record with my camera as of this moment, so that's why I am making a video with the sound recording. So this is it. Polar Express is directed by Robert Zemeckis. Is that how I pronounced it correctly? Please correct me if I'm wrong. This is based on the 1985 children's book and stars Tom Hanks in 6 different roles. So this film revolves around a young boy who doubts the existence of Santa. He does not believe, full stop. One night he wakes up on Christmas Eve and he goes on this magical train ride to the North Pole and embarks on a self-discovery sort of trip. This film is very special to me. It's one of the first films that I've ever seen in cinema. I was 5 years old and I remember everything about the experience. It's by far my favorite Christmas film. It has to be. I mean, of course, this film review is filled with spoilers and there's so much that I have wanted to talk about for quite some time, so here it is. I love this film. It's a very, very special one for me. So the film starts off with the hero boy. He's very skeptical about Santa. He struggles to sleep. He has all these newspapers and magazines about Santa not being real or being a fraud or just being many imposters. As a loud and a very noisy locomotive train arrives outside his home, I remember so much about this film and this particular scene. The sound, it just terrified me in theaters, but I was so excited as well because it felt like I was there the whole time. The steam going off, the objects in the room moving about, it felt like an earthquake. The sound of the train was incredible. The first look of the train was just so mesmerizing. I just had the exact same expression that the boy had, as you can see right here. The score of the film, one cannot be underrated. Alan Silvestri does an amazing job. The soundtrack I will never forget in my life. It's always going to be there. The characters are perhaps the most important thing in a film. It makes you so glued to the screen. It's just, especially with this film, it's filled with such compelling and relatable characters. Even if the plot and the narrative is not, going as fast as you want it to be, you have the characters there and it doesn't really matter as much, because as long as you are entertained and somehow happy with what's on screen, then I guess that's fine. The conductor, played by Tom Hanks, one of his 6 roles in the film, the character is such a great role model. He just encourages children to believe in Santa, or not just in Santa, but just in the good things in life. There's also a impoverished child called Billy. He's just the sweetest boy. He's so isolated, he doesn't have many friends, and he first of all declines getting on board of the train at first, but then he changes his mind. He doesn't give up. He just hopes to see something good. And I feel like somehow that could be very relatable with many people around us, I guess. But then there's also a very spirited and a very cheerful girl who cares about others, If someone is not getting a hot chocolate, she will make sure that person gets a hot chocolate and she will give that to them. Which brings me to the brilliant hot chocolate scene. I mean, this scene is actually the reason why I make sure that I watch this film while drinking hot chocolate, because it just looks phenomenal in this film. I need some hot chocolate. I'll be right back. One of my favorite and most important scenes that I actually remember while seeing this film is when the hero boy loses the tickets. It's probably my favorite. It's just so visually appealing. The detail around the place is just so beautiful. I can't stop looking at the screen. The bird catching the ticket and flying around with it is just amazing. The way that the ticket is able to find its way back to the train in perfect condition, by the way. It's like nothing happened to it. It's just brilliant, and many people would say it's very unnecessary, but in terms of theater experience, I remember everything, and I just had a great time watching that. This leads to the boy climbing on top of the roof of the train, where he meets my favorite character of the film, the hobo, also played by Tom Hanks. He is by far my favorite character in the film, and he has this great line that I always remember, and I always smile or sometimes laugh because it's just so funny.
Is there something I can do for you?
I'm looking for a girl.
Hey, we all!
The guy seems initially very scary. He is a ghost. He claims that seeing is believing, and he's honestly plays with the boy's mind. He plays tricks on him, plays all these psychological stuff in his mind. But ultimately, say whatever you want, he helps him along the way, and he does save his life. I can't forget the train on the ice scene. It's turned into one of the biggest memes that I have seen so far. But let's go forward to when they actually reach to the North Pole. I mean, where the three kids get lost in the North Pole after Billy unhitches the car, sending it back to Santa's workshop. From then, this film felt like a video game. It felt like one of the coolest missions that you're on, and you're finding a way to get to the others. I was just so excited watching this part of the film every time I watch it. It was just phenomenal. It's just so exciting to be a part of that journey. When in full speed the train is going back to the workshop, and then it's going to crash, and then the train is spinning, and then they have to find ways to get to the other side, and they have to have this massive bridge that they have to cross upon, and one of the boys called Billy obviously slips on it, and you're just so scared because you love these characters. You don't want anything bad to happen, and plus they're children, so of course you don't want anything bad to happen to them. But the film does not shy away from being emotional, especially the ending scene. All the elves and the children are surrounded, and they are awaiting for Santa's arrival. Everyone is noticing the beautiful sound of the bells, and the camera slowly zooms in on the hero boy, who has this sad and depressed look on his face because he can't hear it. He does not believe. But as the bell falls apart and rolls onto the hero boy, he picks it up and he claims that he does believe. He wants to hear that noise, and it finally rings, and it's just at a very enlightening and a very satisfying, great moment in the film. That is actually brought to Santa's attention. We see Santa. We finally see him walk to the boy, and he's once again played by Tom Hanks. This guy is a complete legend. Not only does he do 6 different roles, but he actually does the motion capture for the hero boy as well. I never knew that as of now, which is incredible. Guys, I love this film. It's just a fantastic film. I will never forget it. I watch it every Christmas. But of course, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that this film does not have any problems. It does. It has quite a few flaws with the film. I just think of this film as a great traditional Christmas film, which I just love and cherish so much. Obviously, there are some problems with some of the dialogues towards the ending of the film. There are some points where it does drag a little bit. There is a rescue scene towards the end of the film, which includes the elves, and it just seems a bit too overdramatic in my opinion. I just thought, okay, let's just wrap it up. No pun intended. Okay. I'm gonna give The Polar Express a 4 out of 5 stars. Definitely check this out if you haven't done so already. It's a great Christmas film, a great traditional Christmas film that you can watch every Christmas. It's just a great one. And so, of course, it's not a perfect film by all means, but it's just a very heartwarming one, definitely. Have a great Christmas, guys. If you don't celebrate it, if you're just excited about a day off from work or school, have a great one. Thank you, guys, and I'll see you very soon.